see how everybody was. Here we go.
So Bell.
All right. I had to turn the Brady Bunch view on.
Hello.
Hello. Let's see.
Did you say something about the Brady Bunch?
Yeah, I had to put the Brady Bunch view on.
I forgot about that. I didn't watch it, so
You never watched the Brady Bunch?
no, it was kind of after my time. I think.
I loved the Brady Bunch. And,
Naturally.
what was the other bunch? There was another one. Can't remember.
The Partridge Family.
Yes.
Which is the Partridge Family, yeah.
I love them both.
Of course.
Sweet. Good to see you guys.
See you too.
Good to see you too.
Looks like we got
Your new home.
yeah.
We are in our new home. Yeah. And
Congratulations.
I just came in the door.
Super nice.
Came in the door. It's a rainy, cool day here. Beautiful. We like the cool weather.
It's been raining most of the day. Not heavily, but just kind of consistently. It's been cool here constantly. I mean, ever since we moved in.
Wow.
Out the box.
It's been hot here in New England. Really hot.
Yeah. It seems like it's
It's been really hot in New England. It's been raining every day.
Alberto, you said it was like 110.
Hey, yes, it's been really crazy here. 110, 115.
Wow.
Sicily was burning.
How is it now?
I'm in Canada. My whole country is on fire. So we're
Yeah.
Where are you?
yeah, I'm just outside of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And hi, Robin. It's my first time joining here. I've been meeting.
Hi.
We thought you were new.
Yeah. Hi, Julian.
I'm in disbelief that this exists. I have to say. I'm trying to explain to a friend of mine. I'm like, can you imagine getting on a video phone call with Jimi Hendrix? Because that's what this is like.
Thank you.
Second that emotion, Julian.
Yeah. But
Well, dude.
Thank
I
you.
wanted to show this to you, Robin, because I was just showing everyone. I finally tracked this down.
Oh my gosh.
So sweet.
Is it in good shape?
It's an amazing shape.
Wow.
The vinyl was basically unplayed, and I couldn't believe I found a copy. I've been looking forever, so it was. It sounds fabulous.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Is that the first album?
Well, so to speak, it's with my brothers. It's called the Charles Ford Band, named after our father.
Yeah.
And the band had actually broken up, and the guy Chris Strakowitz was our Hooli Records, and it was basically a folk blues label, independently owned by him. He was it, and he made records very cheaply, and Delta music. What do you call that kind of Mexican music?
Salsa?
Not salsa.
No, it's
Flamenco? Or?
no.
No.
Mariachi?
Yeah.
Yeah, mariachi.
Music from Texas, Louisiana, very funky stuff, and a little bit of electric. And we had met him, my brother Patrick and I, when we were playing with Charlie Musselwhite. And we did a record with Charlie Musselwhite on our Hooli. And Chris became a fan of my brother and my band, the Charles Ford Band. And when we broke up, he said, no, this is, you guys, you got to at least get back together and make a record, because this needs to be documented. And so, I was 19. My brother Mark was 17. And my brother Patrick was 22. So we were just kids, We went into this funky little studio in San Francisco and recorded, I think we did the record in one day. It might have taken 2 days. We just count up a song, played it, live vocal, and there it is.
Wow.
Great.
I got to see you with your brothers in the 90s when you guys you were touring with Chris Kane.
Well, that was probably the Blue Rocket Review, Blue Rocket
Is that
Records
what that was?
Review.
Yeah.
So that's Patrick's label, Blue Rocket Records.
Okay.
And he'd recorded Chris Kane, Mike Osborne, my brother Mark, of course, and a lot of Bay Area blues people. So yeah, that was probably the review. You know, did a few shows.
Yeah, it's a great show. It was at the.
California.
I think it was at the Baghdad Theater, maybe. You remember?
That sounds
In
right.
Portland, Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. There was a club up there. Also, really nice club. I think it might have been it was a large club that I remember playing up there.
The Pine Street.
Could be.
Yeah.
But
You know,
anyway,
I remember you were playing with the Blue Line. I saw you out there, and we went to this restaurant afterwards called the Montage, and I ran into Roscoe Beck and Tim, the drummer there,
Breckline.
Yeah, and we all sat at the same table. I was hoping that you'd show up, but I didn't see you there that night.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember the Montage. It was a great restaurant in Portland.
I don't.
They had like 3 tables. It was like sitting at the Last Supper because there were long tables. And
Oh, I see.
if you, yeah, and the food was great. It was like kind of New Orleans style.
Oh yeah.
They even had like rabbit sausage and squirrel on the menu. You know, weird things.
That makes me sad.
I need me some squirrel.
That makes me sad.
No, it was weird. It was like, you know, they were going for that New Orleans thing. You know, Louisiana thing.
Roadkill Cafe.
Roadkill.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few other new people here, I think. No?
Yeah, there are. There's quite a few new people. Let's see.
Anybody
Raise your
want to
hand.
come forth?
I do want to
People are
say
shy.
I do want to say hi to Alain. I actually have been wanting to email you. We haven't seen you in a while. Have you been okay? Alain?
You mean me?
Yes, you.
Yeah. Well, I've been traveling, you know. So
Okay.
I just got back home
Okay.
to Sweden.
Good. Glad you're all right.
And
We haven't seen you in a while.
yeah, we are doing fine. And my wife wish you all the best for you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, good. We're glad to know you're okay.
Yeah. for
Remember,
sure.
what were you doing up in Helsinki? Did you just come to the gig?
He came to the gig.
Yeah.
Just come
Yeah.
to the
Right.
gig, or were you there for other reasons?
Yeah. Well, there were some other reasons too. Because of the to meet the family of my wife and I just recently get to know that you have a concert over there after the
Helsinki?
summer. Yeah, right.
Norway.
That I have one, are you
In
saying?
Oslo.
You have I
Coming
read
up.
some announcement
So
that you
it's
have
coming up, right?
concert with
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah,
coming
it's,
up in late
Yes, the Helsinki Jazz
fall.
Orchestra.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Helsinki Jazz
right.
Orchestra.
There's two of my longtime bandmates playing in the same band.
Okay. I think it's in November.
No.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So
Alberto would know.
I wish I can.
Is it the one with the other one we were talking about? The
The big
licks.
band. The big
The
band. Yeah.
No.
yeah.
Nope.
Not that.
Nope. It's another thing. It's the Helsinki Jazz Orchestra.
Right.
I keep saying.
Okay.
Good thing
Oh, okay, it's that one.
playing.
Right.
Someone's noise going on.
Yeah, it's the same conductor who did the thing that we did in Switzerland pretty recently.
Yeah.
Some of you, if you kind of watching it there, but that last big band thing I did, Kelly and I were there last December
Is Walter here? I don't see Walter.
in
Yeah, Walter.
Basel,
Yeah.
and so it's the same conductor. His name is Ed Partika, and he also handles the Helsinki Jazz Orchestra. So he said, "Hey, you want to do one up there too?" And I'm like, "Absolutely." So I'm glad you reminded me of that, actually.
Yeah, well, we played a lot. I played quite many concerts with the drummer and tenor, first tenor player.
All right.
So they are my my
your mates,
close
your buddies.
I wish I come to the concert.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Everyone
I
should
hope so.
know that Elaine over here, Elaine is, I think you might be our very first dojo member. You and Christoph. Yeah. You've been with us from when we were in Nashville, when we were doing those live streams. You were always there.
You were just this tall.
Yeah. You were just this tall.
No, we were.
So thank you for that. It means a lot. It's very
Exactly the same. I was very happy to find this because it was very depressing time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been following you, Robben, for a long time, and I think it's wonderful to have
Thank
some
you.
kind of contact.
Yeah,
Thank
it was
you.
great that Kelly came along.
No,
So,
it's great Robin came along.
well, to make this thing actually really happen, especially.
The worst part about that Nashville thing is I had to repaint my house that same color green that you had.
Green.
Yeah, you know that the green you had in your living room.
No,
My wife loved the color.
It was a dark gray.
It was gray.
It was gray.
Dark gray.
It might have looked green.
Yeah, it was a dark gray.
Thank God for color blindness, I guess. Huh?
It was beautiful dark gray. I love that color. Yeah.
Yeah. So my house is what it looked like on the YouTube.
Well, it turned out great.
Yeah.
When did you guys cross over from Robben from the True Fire? Sorry.
Hi, John.
Hey, how are you guys?
You.
I was curious, when did you were doing the True Fire stuff and then you started the dojo? Like what month and year was that? Like sounds like it was during COVID. I've been with you guys for about I think 15 months now, but I'm curious like when you really started.
It was right
I
during
think we
COVID, wasn't it?
I think we launched the dojo and moved to the dojo, our own situation instead of using the True Fire platform. It was June, wasn't it?
Of 2020.
Of 2020.
Yeah.
June of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I guess so.
I mean, it took a while to build the site and come up with the ideas and make videos and.
Yeah. I remember. I think we launched
2020
June.
Mm-hmm.
It was a COVID project.
It was.
Pure was a COVID project.
Pure was a total COVID.
Yeah.
I just spent the whole, COVID period just sitting on the couch writing Pure. It was beautiful.
And recording Pure.
And recording it, with
out at Casey's
our
place.
close buddies that we could, you could be with certain people.
Only bass players. They were the only people who showed up at the studio,
But and your
Bass players, huh?
Well, Casey, of
Drummers.
course, my co-producer, engineer. But Casey and I would build the track, get a click track going. I'd play bass, I'd play some chords, I'd play a melody, And
you built it up virtually, right? Yeah.
And sent it to drummers, There's 5 different drummers on there, different parts of the world. And then bass player, there was 2-3 bass players in Nashville that I liked working with who would come in all masked up, sit down and play the bass and split. Except for Go was recorded live in studio, with Nate Smith on drums and Anton Nesbitt on bass. And Blues for Lonnie Johnson was
you guys did that one live?
Same guys, yeah. And I don't know if anyone there was an extra track that isn't on the Pure album. think it's on the vinyl. It might have been an addition to the vinyl.
Yeah.
It's called Antonate and Tate.
Huh.
I only
I've got the album at home. I don't have it in front of me.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
Anton Nesbitt and Nate Smith. They call it Antonate and Tate. And
It's an-
interesting little tune. And I think it opens the live album.
Yeah.
Does it?
I think.
Was it on all the vinyl albums that you did? Because
Yeah.
I bought it pretty early on.
There's only one.
Well,
Yeah, well, you didn't do a re-release, so must have that song.
I think it's on the vinyl. But you know, it was
It is
one of
on the
those.
vinyl.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Huh.
But anyway, that was also cut with those guys. So actually 3 songs.
When does the live come out?
The live is supposed to come out December 1st.
No, we gotta wait that long, huh?
No, is it pure? Is it all pure? Live?
All but 2 songs. There's a blues on there, which is a remake of a song from Day in Nashville called "Just Another Country Road."
Okay.
And I did it as a slow blues, a slow minor blues. It's much hipper, I think, than the version that we did on A Day in Nashville. And Cotton Candy is on there from the Purple House album. This was a request from Kelly,
Thanks to me.
and I'm so glad we did that.
I remember saying,
Probably got another check, but that's okay.
It's just not true. I keep telling her, I make all this shit up, man.
I'm glad you're laughing, Teresa.
I like that song too, but I understand the sentiment.
Wow. Y'all,
You know,
me on
I'm gonna
Friday.
have to cover one of your songs. I have to cover one of your songs.
Just
For my,
little girl
I'm
talk.
actually at a club right now. I have a regular Sunday gig now,
Mhm.
so I'm sitting out in their smoking area. There's nobody smoking, thankfully. I'm
Sweet.
back
Right
That
on.
tune-
right on the water.
Beautiful.
the
Can
tune, I wanted to ask the tune "Go." That's when I first listened to that, as I recall, that had multi-track guitars, and I said, would Robben be able to play this live? Because I don't ever recall you ever playing with other accompanying guitar players, other than a special, invite or something. But do you play that song live? Go.
I do. I play it live with the trio. Yeah, there's one additional guitar. There's a rhythm guitar that I overdubbed after the fact. We cut it in the studio, trio, and Jeff Coffin. I brought in Jeff because it was nice to have somebody kind of boost the melody a little bit, but also I wanted somebody to take a solo. Because I wanted there to be somebody else to take a solo, and then I would take a solo. That was the idea. So it was really the main reason I brought him in, was just to have him take a solo so I could play rhythm guitar.
Okay.
And, I wound up taking off the solo. Not that it was bad, but it was all for me.
Mhm.
But with my rhythm guitar going, to help the bass and drums, and we're all on the same track. A
So
little
"Go"
recording
Go
technique.
will be on the live album.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And we've got the saxophones.
It's cool.
There's no additional guitar on the live. It's live, and you hear, but the saxophones are playing little things behind me.
You used to play with Bob Malik years ago. Are you ever in touch with him anymore?
No, and I was just asking. It was a trip just the other day, out of the blue. I found out the Yellow Jackets were in town, and so I went to their first show and had lunch with Russell Ferrante next day, and I asked him about Bob, because Bob Mincer, the Yellow Jackets tenor player, he's good friends with Bob, known him his whole life. I said, any news on Bob, And he said, no, not really. But he said, even Bob Mincer said, I call Bob and I never hear back from him. So But what a great guy! What a great saxophone player! And I do think about him, you know.
They play any of the old stuff that you did, like Imperial Strut?
Not the set that we saw. I think they do still play that in their sets sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Played a tune that I recorded with them some years after I was in the band. They've called me for a few things here and there, you know,
Yeah.
and to play or to record, and yeah, they played one song, but you know, it's not like that. They always do Revelation, and Russell wrote Revelation
Yeah,
for me.
love that song.
I recorded it, of course, on the Talk to Your Daughter album, and they wound up recording it, and it's become their hit. You know, it's like they close their shows with that. You know.
I have a burning question that has been a mystery I can't figure out.
Yeah.
Love burning questions.
Yes,
Go
please.
for it,
Please,
Julian.
Julian. Yes.
I have this live album of you and Larry Carlton, and I can find out everything about every song on it except for one called Too Bad.
Too Bad.
And I can't find video of you guys playing this. It's on the album, and it's incredible.
I don't know what it is.
Wow.
No.
I'll send you through the dojo the CD title, because
Send it on the lounge to Robin, you know.
Discord.
I mean, on Discord.
Yeah, on Discord, yeah.
Send it to Robin, like in the questions for Robin section.
Because I was so
or
curious.
You can also send it at robin@robbenford.com email.
Okay. I can do both just to make sure you guys get it, because it's so funny. I heard this song and I've only ever heard it once I got this album. And
are you sure that it's called Too Bad?
Yeah, like TWO, like as in two.
Ah, too bad. Ah.
Yeah.
Like
and it is bad sounding. I mean, in a good way, you know. I mean, it's amazing.
Been live in Tokyo.
Live in Tokyo, yeah.
Okay. Well, I can go look for that.
And I can't find out because I wanted to know if it's a song you wrote or or where it came from.
Yeah, I mean that would probably be one of Larry's songs. You know, it sounds to me like a Larry Carlton title. You know.
Okay.
Burnable. You know those songs.
True.
That we were playing. You know.
Okay.
Too Bad. I can see that. Cold Gold. Right. There's a song called Cold Gold.
I love that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that other. Is there a Lonnie Johnson reference song there too, or no?
I think so.
No. Okay. Yeah, that was the Cold Gold performance that I can see video of. That one's on YouTube, and that's fabulous. Yeah,
right.
that performance is stunning.
All right.
I actually can I tell you how I discovered you?
Of course.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Which shattered my guitar world, actually. So, you know, I thought I understood guitar and liked guitar, and then I saw the first 45 seconds of you playing the way you treated me live, and you're just doing the intro, which is a mixture of, you know, some comping, some leads, some double stops, and it's all hybrid picked. And the tone, the dynamics, and everything that happens in that first 45 seconds, it made me put my guitar down and be like, who is this individual? And then I just got sucked in so deep to your whole discography, and it changed how I saw guitar entirely. I just thought, this is unbelievable. Someone can create this much dynamism with just their fingers and a clean guitar sound and maybe a little overdrive in some spots. It just blew me away. It literally brought me to tears when I watched it.
Ah, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, and ever since then, I'm just, you know, so that's why I say it's unfathomable to me that this is available, and thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome. And thank you for joining.
Thanks for hanging out with us in the dojo.
It's so nice to hear that kind of I mean, that to me is like a great compliment that you were saying dynamism, right? I think that was your first word, you know, create so much dynamism with just like kind of, because that's sort of like the thing, you know, that's what I'm always going for, you know, it's I want this moment, you know, to be a really living, vital moment, you know, that's really connecting. And you
Yeah.
can't do that, I don't think, if you're running all the shit that you know how to play. Because that's what you want to do is run all the shit you know how to play, you know?
Well, I just had no idea that a guitar could be given that much of a voice.
Oh,
I just never seen it before, you know, like that.
Well, what
And
about Jeff Beck?
well, I love Jeff Beck. You know, Jeff Beck is stunning to me, but for some reason, and I saw Jeff Beck. I haven't seen you yet, but I'm trying to come to the Ronnie Scott's gig in London.
Where are you located?
I'm in Canada, in Ontario.
Are you seriously gonna come?
Yes, I'm seriously gonna come. I'm just looking to book a flight and then find out where to stay. I gotta book a hotel and a flight. And I'm planning to just come for 2 days to see it.
Wow. Julian, you gotta definitely be in touch with us. We're gonna definitely
So,
make sure to meet
Julian,
you.
I'll be there too, so I'll look for you.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
And
I'll be
also
there.
Thomas will be there. Thomas will be there also.
I'll be coming from Philadelphia.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, great. Well, we should maybe trade contacts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also Thomas.
Yeah,
By the way, I was inspired to do this from John because after John flew from Chicago to New York to see Robben, I thought, okay, then I can go to London.
Yeah, absolutely. I see no problem.
I want to go too.
I thought you might go, John. Are you coming or not?
Let's have a gathering then.
Have a dojo reunion.
Hang.
Dojo reunion.
He's not touring
That's
North America now, right? So
Beautiful.
I'm like, well, if I want to see him, I have to fly somewhere. So London's probably.
You guys, just be in touch with me on Discord, and we'll make sure we arrange to all get together somehow.
Yeah,
So
we'll see if we
we'll
can,
see if we can find
at least arrange like guest pass for like one of the shows or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be there on Saturday, but not Friday. We're flying in Friday night. I have to be at work in Washington on Friday, and then I'm going to jump on a plane Friday night. So we'll be there Saturday.
So beautiful.
Okay.
So touching.
I've booked
Send that information.
Oh, look at Luke.
David, yeah.
Luke?
Yes, hi.
Are you also?
I'm coming on the Saturday, but I booked the 2 shows, so I can't wait.
Where are you, Luke?
So I'm in England.
Where?
I'm just up north.
Oh, fantastic. You're in our hood.
Yes.
We're happy to meet some other people who live in England since we now live here.
Yeah, well, I think I sent you a message actually, just about videography. I don't know if we can
You
maybe
did?
chat.
Oh, I haven't seen it. We need a videographer.
Yeah, so yeah,
Is
hit
that
me
what
up.
you do?
Yes, it is. Yeah, but I work for Yamaha Music in London.
But
quite a lot.
are you far from us in London?
Not overly, just a couple of hours. But I travel to London quite a lot, so I'd love to.
Okay, well,
let's pursue this.
So you got in touch with me on Discord. Just write Kelly at robbenford.com, and then be in touch directly. That would be so great. Yeah, we need a videographer. I'm in touch with somebody, but it would be cool to have a dojo guy.
Oh, it'd be amazing. I'd love to.
Cool. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, let's definitely connect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it inspired me to get tickets for both shows because if I'm paying for a flight, I might as well see.
I wanted to do the Friday as well, but I've got another gig, so I couldn't make the Friday. But I was going to do all 4 because I'm such a.
Oh no! Yeah, no. You just come and be
Awesome.
there. It's awesome. Delphine, we're gonna see you in Annecy. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi. Sure. That'd be great.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Such a beautiful situation there.
That's in just a couple weeks. We're going to Annecy.
Yeah. It's coming fast.
Yeah, and
Are you in Annecy?
No, she's
No. I'm kind of north of Besançon, so it's gonna be like a 3-hour drive to drive down to Annecy.
Yeah.
But you're coming with your girlfriend, and you're gonna go to the spa.
Right.
The spa.
Yeah, she said
Awesome.
in the hotel is a good spa.
Oh yes, of course.
Which I want to go to the spa too. We need to go to the spa. Okay, I'm gonna get out of this. Let you guys do some. You guys should do some guitar things. We talk about
Could I? Yeah, indeed.
questions.
Solicit
for guitars.
questions.
Oh, here we have a hand. Here,
Okay.
Stash from Nashville without Alberto.
I know it saddens me greatly, but we'll visit again soon. We're staying in touch,
Yeah. It's like the first time I actually see his face.
I know.
After Nashville.
We haven't actually done a FaceTime thing at all. So
yeah, not yet.
Not yet. This week probably.
That's so sweet.
Right on.
I love it.
Yeah. No, so Robben, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?
Wonderful. I'm doing well. So, guitar-wise, tell us everything you can about the song Balafon. I love that song.
Okay.
Everything you can, like theory, chords, writing process, any of that. I would love to hear.
Okay, so that one's gone. Bing, boom, 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 boom. So that I'm just trying to remember. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just happen to have a guitar here.
Yay.
So that song was very hard to play.
Yes.
And so no such thing as like I sat down and played a perfect pass. That never happened.
Uh-huh.
And like it's something that I wouldn't let's see. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you of course would know the key, but I just kind of play the A minor 7. You know the voicing?
Yeah.
The straight A minor
sort of.
7.
Yeah.
And then that's E minor 7, right?
Of course, yes.
So that's A minor 9, E minor 7. So it's A minor, E minor, A minor, E minor, right? Yes. And then, let's see. Just doesn't seem like right.
Right there, I believe.
I guess.
That's what I'm doing when I'm attempting to play it, let's say.
So it's an F. Okay, that's why I'm tripping on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like F major 7.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm playing like C here, right? F major 7. That's what I play. A flat 7. B flat 9. So this is just moving up in half steps. This note stays the same. Right?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
A flat 7, B flat 9, and then these are the same voicings. E flat 9, do. Right?
Yeah.
And it goes on from there.
Absolutely. Thank you for doing that.
Is that right? There it is. That's the F major C over F. Right? I'm having a hard time keeping track of it.
That's cool. I appreciate you going through it.
The whole idea was just to write a chord melody song.
Yeah.
But I can't do it. So this is, again, one of those things I always say, give yourself an assignment,
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, man, I can't play chord melodies for shit. So
Neither can I.
better
So
write one
I understand this. Yeah.
and make a record. It's like,
Yes, sir. Perfect.
So it's just pushing myself, Let me see how far I can get with this thing.
Okay, cool.
I like showing my fallibility,
Well, I appreciate the real thing, man.
Let's see
Thank
what I
you.
can do here. Yeah, so it's A minor 7. Here we go. B flat 7. Oh, it's A flat 6. A flat 6, right? That's it. G sus. G9. So I'm just playing these three note voicings, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's see. F. So it's all the same voicing. It's just the ninth chord again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man.
So that's the best I can do right now. And trust me, man, I've sat down and played it and played it. I wrote it, I played it, I played it, I recorded it, I practiced it, I played it on a gig. I've never played it right.
Yeah, I've sat with that song a lot myself. It's so
probably
beautiful.
play it better than I do.
Oh, I don't know about that. I just wanted to see kind of like, because I'm more of an ear player myself.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like, okay, am I in the ballpark? Somehow, I think I am. So thank you.
You're welcome. And you probably are. Because the guitar is a funny instrument,
Yeah, it's a strange one.
But those 3-note chord voice things,
they're so beautiful.
They're findable, they're kind of there. You can play them on a couple of places on the guitar, and that's like I still every time I play it, I'm like, should I play this thing right there in order to get that melody right after upstroke?
Yeah.
Right? So it's like that.
Yes.
Now I'm downstroke. But this is kind of what I had in mind. But sometimes I play it, which is the same, right?
Yes.
Whoops, that's a different voicing, actually. It's F major 7, right?
F major 7.
but you can't get the.
Ah, yeah. That one you just did, that's what I usually do. There from the 3rd fret. Yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of notes ringing whenever I play it, and sticky stuff happens.
Yeah, it's not, you're right. It's not easy at all. That's a great one.
You know, everybody, you have to play a certain way to be able to play certain shit, you know? Your technique only allows you, you know?
You're telling the truth, man.
Yeah.
So true.
So yeah, it's another thing that I always kind of try to pass along is you have to make choices, you know?
Yes.
You can't do everything great.
It's decision making, I think, more often than not. The more that I've been playing in my life, I'm about 24, 25 years in, and I think, okay, it just becomes, I understand who I am as a player, and it's like trying to make that appropriate choice for the song or the moment. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And that's pretty much how I look at it.
It's, you know, embracing imperfection, you know?
And that's a big lesson. I'm starting to actually like it. I used to get real bent out of shape and just, oh my God, you know, beside myself if I made one small mistake. But at the end of the day, it's gonna happen. And also too, if you're going for it, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. And that is the thing that you're actually, you know, you're kind of letting your emotions take you, you know, and come hell or high water, you know, I'm gonna do this thing that I don't really know how to do so good in front of God and everybody, and more importantly, people.
Yeah, people are actually watching, and okay, well, here we go.
And they're right there in front of you, looking at you, and you're supposed to be good.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So that's how I've lived my life.
I love it. That's beautiful.
My musical life.
I totally relate to that. I played live for the very first time about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm 37, so I was 32, 33, so pretty late, probably amongst the people in this room right now. But yeah, I mean, it was an experience of being okay with the fact that, you know, I knew there were some parts that were going to be a challenge, but also just being comfortable with the improvisation, because I just never got comfortable with being over rehearsed as the years went by. And I'm not like I've played a lot of years live, but I just learned that I was more comfortable if I felt confident improvising than trying to nail a part the same way every time. And, you know, if it just feels like more of a live experience, at least for me as the player, being able to kind of play emotionally than, you know, maybe the exact same thing every time. Although I also don't have the skill to play the exact same thing every time. So it's a bit of a
Neither do I. That's why it doesn't really happen too often, because I can't do it. People say your solos are always different. I'm like, well, you know, doing the best I can over here.
Yeah, one of the things too that you mentioned there is the assignment thing, Robin. And like I hear you, you know, saying that repeatedly, and it takes me a while. I start to go, oh, the assignment thing. Like I need to give myself an assignment, and how you said that was an assignment that you gave yourself on the chord melody thing. And it's just, it focuses me in on like some element of my playing. So write a song incorporating, you know, some extended, you know, chords. So I've been giving myself the assignments, or my current one is like, be a solid rhythm player. You know, like that's my current assignment, you know. But I just point that out for everybody. If you're new to the dojo, I think that's a really powerful thing, you know, the assignment, you know.
And you know, it keeps you within yourself, and it allows you to expand as well, you know, because like, okay, what can I do? And it also keeps everything musical.
Yeah.
You're trying to make music, you know, with your assignment, right?
Yeah.
I saw
kind of applying. Yeah.
Go ahead. Applying what?
Oh, just applying all that we're learning here with you, and then sitting down and go, okay, I'm going to give my assignment where I'm at in my journey to make the most of what I've learned, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We got a couple of hands up here. So we'll do Brian and then Vincent, okay? Go ahead, Brian.
Hey,
And-
thanks. On the subject of the Pure album, just an influences question. Your reference to Lonnie Johnson, just
Yeah.
curious about that. I mean, I know him as a player and I've read a lot about him and listened to him, but curious what he means to you.
Well, the thing that I love about Lonnie Johnson, something that I've tried to do. Have you ever heard my record called "Bringing It Back Home"?
Yep.
So that was kind of a tribute to Lonnie Johnson for me in a way. So the idea was, one pickup, and never turn on an overdrive. Just play in a very, play the blues. I mean, that record is blues. Like the guitar playing is blues. There's no hip shit on it, so to speak.
That's the one where you had the trombone?
Bringing It Back Home, yeah.
Yeah.
So blues for Lonnie Johnson, and it was just like the reference is really just kind of that simplicity. Real simple little rhythm section, play a blues in C. And just play. And, tone never changes, pickup never changes, straight. Obviously, I'm playing a lot more, and there are chord changes and everything that I do play through on that. It's got that 1, 2, 3, flat 3, 2, 1, 6, 2, 5 stuff going on. So I'm playing past, the straight ahead thing. But nonetheless, it's just, it felt good to me to tribute him because I owe him a debt. I just love that setting, man. Guitar, bass, drums, 2 saxophones. Just love it.
It's a ripping song. I mean, didn't you cut it live?
Yeah. There's no melody, it's just an improvisation. There's no song per se. It's just a blues in C. And we cut it. I cut it with the rhythm section. That was, again, Nate Smith and Anton Nesbitt. No, I brought in a different bass player for that, whose name is escaping me right now, but he plays the upright acoustic bass. And cut it, and then went back into the studio, added the horns, the saxophones, and then I muted the lead guitar and did a live solo performance, which is on the record, live on Instagram. Did you ever see that thing?
No, I don't have Instagram, but I've heard you mention this before, which is
Yeah.
really, really cool and kind of, I imagine, kind of scary.
Terrifying. But Kelly, she pointed this out, because she kind of shot something in the studio one day. And she says to me afterwards, when people are watching, you become a different guy. And I'm like, all right.
It was a live video.
Give yourself a challenge. So it's like, okay, it's going to be a live friggin' performance, knowing that hundreds at least of people are watching,
So the one on the album is that?
Yeah. Straight up.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I took 2 passes, maybe even 3, all of it live broadcast, so I was always on the spot. But there's no editing. It's one performance straight through, and you can watch the whole thing on Instagram.
Okay. My wife has it, so I'll grab hers.
Right on.
I think there were a ton of people on there too, if I'm not mistaken. It was like big numbers.
Maybe
was it that? Maybe I was thinking of, yeah.
So Vincent, Warren.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I remember that. I remember I had the album first, and only later saw you do this solo on Instagram. I was like, damn, it's a PRS.
Yeah.
that was like
But
on a
it's
single
close.
coil. Yeah, it's such a great sound. I was like, of course I associate first, like, that doesn't sound like Italian, but it was just a bit of a shock. That was
I know.
And that's right. I
Shock to me.
Yeah, no kidding. And it was through the Dumble, I think, right? The Dumble with the
Yeah.
PRS and a single coil tap.
When the chips are down.
That one, right? Yeah.
That's the one.
Cool. And Speaking of simple blues, of course, a little bit more involved, I feel, is the Ain't Got Nothing But the Blues, right? So I'm trying to figure that one, but I kind of get lost a little bit after you play like it's a B flat, right? And then F altered, something like that.
Well, it would be F raised 9, raised 5.
Okay, and then you go to this kind of C.
Yep.
I think you play a different voicing, but after that, I kind of get lost.
Hey,
there's a lot of
Vincent.
keyboard going on, so.
Vincent, in the in Discord, I put up 2 charts of the
Great.
song.
Nice.
So you can find them there. Or I can message me on Discord and I can send them to you.
Great, yeah, because I kind of get lost after that little piece. It's because there's a lot of keyboard. It's kind of hard to figure out how would you play it live, like if you didn't have keyboard.
Yeah, I'm trying to find myself. Oh, there I am. Okay, so yeah, so it's an awkward little walk up. I mean, not awkward, but I could never find chord voicings that I liked to play that thing, even on the record, and even today, I still run into the same problem, but. Yeah, it's B flat, and then F raised 9, raised 5, right? B flat 9, and then I play this A minor 11 chord voicing. A flat 7, flat 5. Right? Ah. What am I doing? Yeah, it's a really great, 13 flat 5 chord voicing. It's a D here, right? The 7th of C. Now I'm not playing the low C because it's already being played by the bass player, and that's hard to do. But I play this, right? For my G minor. Are you with me there, Vincent?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's G minor is what we're playing. It's G minor to C, right? You can play G9 like this. And sometimes I play that. C9 flat 5. So there's no third in my voicing. And then it's diminished. Right? C minor 7. B flat over D. And then I just play E flat. Like this. E flat, diminished, and then E flat over F. You ain't got no coffee that's perking. I'll play that voicing sometimes. E flat with your first finger. A on the D string. So you're barring across. You got that?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, like that. Hey, babe. The battery's wearing out.
Very cool.
Yeah, so...
Go back in the video to parse that all through. That's very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I think there's I think I do it, you can find it at TrueFire. I don't know
Okay.
if they sell individual lessons sometimes, but
I have all access. Yeah,
I do something there. Okay, Colin.
I just have a quick comment. I wanted to say how these Zoom meetings are amazing, and it's just like just the little bits of stuff, information you can pick up can be so like enough information to last for years. Like a couple of weeks ago, learning about how the diminished scale and the Mixolydian mode connect, which should have been so obvious, but it wasn't. So now
Yeah.
it's giving me a whole nother 20 years
Yes.
stuff to explore with that. And that was really, I just want to say, thanks. That's great.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. That's sort of been the magic.
It's an amazing discovery to finally, figure out how to really. There's so much that leaves so much to explore. Finally.
Thank you. Another person, the only person I've never heard him talk about it. I'm sure he has, but John Schofield, he really got into the diminished scale too. I just have noticed it and heard it.
I've been trying to figure out how to use it.
Oh yeah, well just use it just like the pentatonic scale.
Well, like and also how you can play it, how you can take the a dominant chord and play a half step up, and you get a diminished scale. So it's almost like you have two back to back, in a way.
Yes.
So if you have a dominant chord, you have essentially two half whole diminished scales back to back.
Well,
I mean, from root and then a half step up, it works. I'm saying, that's a lot.
Well, a half step up. I would say, if I'm understanding what you're referring to, you have two diminished arpeggios, and that's why it's called double diminished, right? So in the key of G, so the scale is half step, whole step. So you have a diminished arpeggio here, which is minor thirds, right? And then a half step up, you have a diminished arpeggio. So a half step up, that's the raised, the altered 5 chord. It would be an altered 5 chord. So that would be for D. If you play the diminished scale, that's for G. If you go up a half step and play it again, you're playing D altered. So they're not the same. If you play the diminished scale up a half step, you're playing an altered 5 chord there. If you want.
I guess what I meant is if you take a dominant chord, say from G, and you play and you raise the root a half step, then you've got a diminished scale.
Well, a G7 with a G7 with a G sharp in the root. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
So that,
But does that imply basically that you can use those diminished scale from G and G sharp?
Well, yes, but then your step G sharp to here is a whole step, right?
Yeah, I guess so. So, but that's so then you got the whole half diminished scale though.
Yes. Right? No.
Okay.
I mean, well, it is. I'd never thought of it that way. Because I'm thinking of it, if you're going to do that in relationship to your question, to me, it's the half step, whole step scale. If you started as if you started on D. Because that would be your root. That would be your tritone substitution. Which would bring you back to G. This is pretty complicated. Let's go over to Teresa. Teresa, what do you got?
I was interested in some of the things discussed earlier today, and also just enjoying how many different textures and different tones you can get out of the strings with like one pickup, like you're saying, with a simple tone. but with your hands and with the pick. And I'm wondering if there's anything in the lessons that I haven't seen yet, or anything that you would recommend maybe to give myself an assignment and work on that.
Well, to me, the assignment is just work on that. You know, it's because that's where you're on your own. You know, there's no direction there, particularly other than I feel like it's just in the playing. You know, it's just in the willingness to do that. That's the assignment, right? Don't change pickups. Don't turn on don't hit your volume control because you want to express more. Don't do it loud. Do it just by playing, you know?
Robben, is this a scenario where...
If I'm answering your question correctly, am I addressing it?
I think so.
Because that's the assignment, you know, in that case, or the challenge, right? I did that. I talked about this, I think, actually at the last Zoom, which was for the other hemisphere, but the song Oasis on my Tiger Walk record, that was the first time I ever did that. And because I was there with the most intimidating musicians I could have thought of. Steve Jordan on drums, you know, Charlie Drayton was playing bass, but he's an incredible drummer. And Bernie Worrell from Parliament Funkadelic. And they're all black and I'm white. And they're all rock and roll stars and played with everybody. I mean, I've done some of that too, but it was like, you know, and the music was all new. It'd never been played by anybody. All I had, it was me on the guitar and charts. So we did Oasis, played the melody, and it's like, go to the overdrive, right? And it's live, we're just playing, you know? And I'm like, no, not gonna do it. And that, it changed my life, you know? It really made it, I mean, it didn't change my life exactly, but it just opened up a door for me, you know, where it's like, no, I'm not gonna rely on that. That was again, the challenge, the call, you know? And it made a braver person out of me, and it made me different. It affected my playing, you know? Just this decision to not go that way, you know? The easy route, the route I do every time, you know? I'm not going to do that. It's like, you know, Yogi Berra once said, as I'm sure you all know, you know, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. Sorry, I've been watching a lot of baseball lately.
His quotes are my father tells me a Yogi Berra quote every week.
Really?
And yeah.
Give us one.
My whole life. Oh, that's literally the only one I remember.
Oh, okay.
I'm inundated with them and I can never remember them. And he makes fun of me for it because we'll be eating dinner and he's like, "You remember that quote I told you?" And I'll be like, "No, I don't." And then he breaks it out on me.
Well, the only other one that I remember is, "It ain't over till it's over."
Yeah.
So we had another hand, babe. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, Colin again.
Colin.
Go ahead, man. Sorry, we can't hear you, Colin.
I'm sorry, I didn't actually. I didn't take my hand down.
Okay.
Okay.
My digital hand. Sorry.
All right. High five.
I've been needing to ask a question. Damon. Hi, Damon. You have been with us for so long, and you are always just sitting there playing your guitar. I was wondering if you wouldn't mind sharing with us what you're playing. Turn on your mic and share with us what you're playing.
Oh, you don't want me to do that.
Kind of do.
I'm noodling and I'm an observer, so I'm always just taking what anybody has asked as a question and what Robben offers as feedback, and I just usually run it through my filter, and then I kind of cross-pollinate that with like the riffs or anything that I'm working on in the dojo, and I kind of distill all of that down to where my current level is. So, which is like way low down on the totem pole, which is great because I'm here to learn, right? So I'm always just noodling on something that's an amalgamation of everything that I've learned throughout the week, and then bring it to where we are in the Zoom. So it's always just something riffy and kind of a mixture of everything that we've learned that day. So
watching you play, we can't help but see you play a little bit. It doesn't look like you're so far down on the totem pole.
Yeah, you think.
But you don't have to. You don't have to whip out anything for us right now.
Yeah.
I can't remember where you are, Damon.
I'm in Edmonton, Alberta, in Canada.
Oh yeah, you're Canadian. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like me, it's a matter of like I'm starting to be happy with where I am in terms of lead and riff selection. It's just I really want to get good at rhythm. That's a huge part. Like I've been playing live a little bit lately and managing some artists, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to play with some really talented musicians, and I find that I can find something in terms of a riff right away, but it gets too busy, and so I really want to learn how to comp and slip in and out of a particular mode, which really relies on rhythm a lot. So I definitely have a lot to learn in that regard. So this is the right place to be for that, for sure.
Awesome. Do you play any blues? Is it blues based what you guys play, or?
Yeah, I'm in a rock and roll band, but my true passion is blues and touching on jazz and pulling that into blues. So I'm managing a blues band right now, and they're phenomenal, and they're just so far ahead of where I am, and that's definitely where I aspire to be. And so I tend to kind of slip in and out of playing with them a little bit every once in a while. And obviously it's a great place to learn, but I really struggle with trying to keep up because there's just so much rhythm going on, and that's definitely what I want to get good at. But yeah, blues is my true love, always has been. Yeah.
What's the name of the band?
It's the Graham Guest Band.
I wonder if there's some YouTube on them.
Can we see them?
There's a little bit. Like right now we're halfway through making a record. So once there's something formal, I look forward to posting it in the dojo. It's probably going to be October by the time that happens. And then there's going to be some South American, and European touring, but they're super amazing. Like Graham Guest has played piano for decades, and he's been in and out of Nashville a lot. And he's super phenomenal. If you look him up, you'll see playing of him doing some of these songs, but a lot of it's just kind of unreleased to the world, and we want to keep it that way until it's ready. But yeah, they're amazing. Yeah.
Right on. And you're managing those guys?
That's correct. Yeah, I work at a studio here in Edmonton when I'm not in school, and now that my university studies have kind of come to a little bit of a halt for a while, I've been focusing a lot of time in that studio. We do stuff on 2-inch tape, and obviously using great equipment too, but 2-inch tape is kind of where it's at. And
that's so cool.
And so through that conduit, they've asked me to take on managing them, which is a pretty big task, but it's great because I have previous management skills, so I can apply that in music. So it's been amazing. Yeah.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Please pass it along.
Yeah, and anything you're doing, we want to know because
we love that stuff in the dojo.
You are like one of the guys who's always there, and you're just there playing. And I'm just every time I look at you, I'm like, "What's he playing?" I want to hear what he's playing. So that's just me. Sorry to be so.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll throw something up in time because it's not that I'm afraid. It's just that I'm spend so much time absorbing. Like that's what I'm big on. It's just being like this active sponge, and there's so many talented people here, and you're all just wonderful human beings. So I'm just really spending a lot of time listening and taking it all in because that's how I format it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate all you guys' time. Thank you.
There and hanging with us. It's just awesome. Very sweet.
Any other questions? Anything? Anybody want to talk about?
How's Dan Fontana? Are you there, Dan?
We chatted a little while ago.
You did?
I think he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I have a quick question about Rosa Sharon, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Okay. Can you show how you play that intro?
Yeah.
That intro riff?
Yeah.
Because I've been playing it by kind of like plucking almost like a G chord, hammering on from the dominant to a major, but I'm not sure if that's what's.
I'll show you.
All right.
So try to get rid of the glare. Yeah, so I'm playing, you know, like if you play G sus, right? Okay, well, I'm just playing so the low G, the F, the C, right? And they hit the open B. Right? Which is C7, open G and D. Yeah. Lead with my left, you lead with your right. The dust finally settles, you're clean out of sight. B7, Rose of, like I use the E, you know, because it's in the melody. Rose of Sharon, clean out of sight. Rose of Sharon. So I can't remember. I might just play E flat 7 like that. E flat major 7. Why don't you come on? B flat 6, C6. Why don't you come on home? I think sometimes I play the C7 with the G in the root. Yeah, that's
so cool.
Thank you.
I knew I was playing it wrong. I was hearing an open string. I couldn't figure out where it was, and
yeah,
I was hammering on from basically here.
Yeah.
You know, and I knew it wasn't right. I could hear it, but I couldn't figure out what you were doing.
Right on.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. I find that the music that I like the best that I've written, most of them are kind of ballady, you know. I like "Oh Virginia" from Bringing It Back Home.
Your first little lead break in Rose of Sharon, the way it opens.
Yeah.
I love that opening phrase. You know, it's something like, I don't know.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry, it's not plugged in.
Okay.
The first 6 or 7 notes are so wonderful for that song.
I can tell you, it's probably my favorite guitar playing on record.
Oh, wow.
Is the lead guitar on Rose of Sharon, the guitar solo on Rose of Sharon. Like for me, it's like I felt like I kind of achieved something close to like, you know, Miles Davis kind of blue, you know. It's like he doesn't play a lot of notes, you know, but they're the best notes.
Yes. Yes.
So, you know, that's what I've always aspired to, you know. It's like just be musical, do something musical, you know.
Yeah.
And whenever I try to impress, I just get tied up in knots, you know. So just be musical, and you know. Yeah. I really feel that Miles Davis I do believe that he did that. I believe he made that choice. I think he saw his limitations, and he made lemonade, man. You know.
He sure had good taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean everything. You know, he had everything, but he didn't practice 11 hours a day. You know.
Wow.
You have to practice 11 hours a day, at least for a while, to be able to play like these people, man. You know?
11 hours.
Oh, yeah.
You never did that, though.
No. That's my point. I took the Miles Davis road, you know? Let me say this, because there's an interview. I would recommend it to everyone. You can find it on YouTube, you know. It's an interview of Charlie Parker by Paul Desmond. So no one disputes Charlie Parker's supremacy, you know. I mean, you know, I mean, there have been some people who have done some amazing things, you know, but there's only like 5 who have done, you know, something like Charlie Parker, you know. It's John Coltrane, you know. There's a few, you know. Anyway, so Charlie was interviewed by Paul Desmond, who was a huge hero for me. He's the Dave Brubeck Quartet. He wrote the song Take 5. And just the best, you know. The Time Out album. If you haven't heard the Time Out record, it's like the white version of Kind of Blue. Really is. It's the white man's Kind of Blue. And anyway, so Desmond's talking to Charlie Parker, and he says, you know, people say you're, you know, like you must have been born. You must have just, you know, came out of the womb and played like Charlie Parker, you know. And he says, you mean, did I practice? And he goes, yeah, something like this. I'm paraphrasing, of course. And he goes, oh, yes, Paul. There were many, you know, 11, 12, 15-hour days sometimes, you know. In fact, they wanted to kick me out of the neighborhood, you know. The neighbors next door were complaining to my mother, you know, like this. It's great, you know. And it's really interesting hearing. It's friggin' Charlie Parker, you know. The most, you know, drug-addled, you know, alcohol-addled, just heartbreaking cat, you know. You hear him talk, he sounds lovely. And this is what he says, you know. So I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. So I'm okay. I just took a different route. I feel that Miles Davis, you know, saw his own limitations, had a different manifestation, let's say, of his talent in this lifetime than Charlie Parker's manifestation. Like different manifestations, like B.B. King, right? He's a different manifestation of that thing that we all love and aspire to. And he's a very simple guitar player, you know? So, all right, I'm going to stop there. I feel like I'm talking too much. Okay, guys and gals.
Super great.
Nice to have the gals.
Great. Always.
Any final notes?
Just so nice to meet you all, and thank you so much, Robin. That was and especially that last demonstration. Thank you very much.
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely great. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Right on.
And thanks everyone for your patience. We are
awesome.
Thank you.
we're finally settling in to our home in London, which has been, I think it's been about 15 months of tremendous stress. And
Been a long ride.
I think we're coming down, and we'll be in touch more and pay more attention. And thank you for your patience. And it's great to have everyone else on board, and we love it. Every time we get off these Zooms, Robin's like, "Isn't it great? I love the Zooms."
That's how I feel too, guys. Thank you.
Sweet.
Never
Very
ceases
welcome.
to inspire. You know.
Great
Thank you.
to hear that, Frank. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, everyone.
All
So
right, guys.
we'll
Bye now.
sign off, but you guys can continue to chat if you like. Go right ahead.
Take care, y'all.
Make some
Thank
dinner.
you all.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.